are episode 67.
67.
67. Now, do you know the significance of episode 67?
It's 13.
It is 13.
I have no idea. I always look forward to these.
Neither do I. I'm a blank on this one. I got nothing. I got no connection with the number 13 and Rocky or 6 or 7. So, although we may have a connection with the number 7 and Rocky, but we'll explore that in a little bit. Stacey, how has your week been?
Good. No, things are good. I have a guest visiting, so I haven't seen her.
Oh, wonderful.
I haven't seen her in 10 months, so that's been a lot of fun. And she loves Rocky, but she's like, oh, I haven't seen them in so many years. So we've been rewatching Rocky. So we're watching, the scene where Rocky comes in and it's their 9th anniversary and he gives her a watch, right? And I thought to myself, I've never seen that replica prop anywhere. You see all sorts of things. So I'm digging on it. I'm like, oh, they got to have something, right?
Yeah.
Okay. First, I'm just going to bring up the picture. Okay. You look up serpentine watch.
Oh, come on.
Okay. And so here's the great debate between my friend and I. Is the watch silver in the movie or gold?
All right. Before you show a picture, do you have a picture, a screen grab?
I will put it in here.
Here. Okay. So before you put that up, I'm going to lean towards gold.
Yes. Okay. That's what I said.
I'm going to lean.
It looks gold to me. So I'm like, oh. So I go over to Bulgari. And just so you all know, if you have an extra $24,000 sitting around, you can get one. I was like, what?
Stacey, 24,000, you say?
Yes. I looked it up 6 times. I'm like, it cannot be that much.
When you're the heavyweight champ of the world and you have a robot in your driveway, or you will eventually have a robot, you've got multiple cars. I guess $24,000. What do you think? How do you do the math on that?
Yeah.
What would be $24,000 in today's money back in 83 or 82?
So then I looked that up and I did 1980s. So the production had to have paid anywhere from $5,000 to $7,000 for that watch.
Yeah, that's
okay. But what they're selling today is $24,300. And I was just like, wow. I guess I won't be getting that.
Well, maybe legally you won't get that.
So, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, Kevin may have some connections. A guy named, Leatherface or Bruno or like Tony Two Tones or something, and he may be able to get that watch for you.
If it's in a replica out there anywhere, I want it. So anyway,
that's interesting.
That's my little thing. And then, as everyone knows, it is Mighty Mix March, and so I put out a little question for everyone. I'm like, hey, we all know and love Burgess in playing Mickey, and I wanted to know what other people's favorite roles of him playing were.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I learned, I'm like, haven't even heard of that. He's in so many things.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable how much he's done. But the top 3 in 1 and 2 was basically tied, but was Grumpy Old Men. So funny, so naughty. And Penguin from Batman was number 2.
Right.
Yep. And then The Twilight Zone.
Oh, yes, that one where his glasses are broken after the world has ended, and he loves to read, but he can't read.
Yep.
Oh, how heartbreaking that would be. Could you imagine that? And that is a very famous Twilight Zone where you talk to people, like go to a Christmas party, a backyard barbecue, and get on one of those talks where you're discussing favorite TV shows. Bring that one up and just ask, hey, the old Rod Sterling Twilight Zone, What's one of your favorite episodes? I guarantee you get a handful of people say, "Oh, hey, you know the one with Mickey Burgess Meredith? Oh, wait, what happened with that? I forget." I'm telling you, everybody talks about
Yeah.
that.
I gotta go rewatch. I gotta go rewatch so much of that stuff. But Kevin, he loved him as
Oh,
Penguin.
really?
Yeah, he watched that. He was like, "Oh yeah, he was great as Penguin." I was like, "Oh, I
And
gotta go watch
how
that."
old is Kevin?
57.
He's 57. I got you. I got you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so he would have been peak childhood with Batman,
Yeah.
Adam West as the old Batman series. And I'll tell you what, I really, that was my first introduction to Burgess Meredith
Mhm.
was the Penguin, because I remember watching it at my grandmother's after grade school when they would watch us when my parents would work.
Mhm.
We're watching Burgess Meredith do his thing, and then all of a sudden we see him in Rocky. You're like, wow.
What? Yeah.
How'd this guy go from here to there? And really, he's an actor. And
Yeah.
that's the thing about actors. They're just so brilliant in the way that they are able to portray it. Because, uh, Burgess Meredith, we'll save that for the way out. We'll save that for the way out. We'll
Yeah.
talk about that then. All right. What do we got coming up?
So, I saw your name is changed this week, Michael. What happened?
Yeah. Yeah. So, okay. Last couple of weeks, I was talking about Binky, and there was a documentary about Rocky, and it's a brilliant. I think it was on not the Life Channel, A&E. A&E
Mhm.
did it, and it was a 2-hour documentary, which is exactly what you want. Now, everybody watching right now, in case you don't know this, Sly has done a Netflix documentary on his life.
Mhm.
What's it all about? What's going to be in there? I don't know. I'm not privy to that. But Sly has announced on one talk show last year that Netflix absolutely has completed filming this. So it's going to be
Mhm.
interesting. I can't wait to see it. I During the A&E documentary, his mother and his aunt
Mhm.
Annette. I believe it's his aunt Annette, which
Mhm.
here's another thing that aggravates the bejesus out of
I
me.
already know what you're gonna say. Yep.
On a lot of online groups, especially Facebook, there's a picture of Sly and Stacy. Maybe we can insert it right
Mhm.
here.
I will. Mhm.
And there was a picture of Sly with his arm around an older woman. And
Mhm.
everyone says it's Talia Shire. No. It is his aunt Annette.
Mhm.
Okay. That is who that woman is. And it really aggravates the
Annoying.
daylights out of me.
Mhm.
Jesus. It looks nothing like Talia Shire. At least I
Right.
don't think it does.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't. Anyways, in this documentary, his mother, they talk about this Binky hairbrush set. Binky was just the manufacturer of this set. And Sly, as a child, would play with the Binky hairbrush set. And this is where his nickname as a child came from, Binky. And
Ah.
one person, I apologize. I don't know who they are, but they're the only ones. Stacy, you took a screenshot,
Yep. Yep.
circled it, and sent it to me.
Yep.
You got it. It
I
was
do.
from the documentary,
I'll
but
put
it
it
was
up.
a hairbrush set. That's where Binky Stallone comes from.
That's not mainstream knowledge, I am sure.
Right.
Only Mike would know that one.
Yeah, and people who have seen this, and that's the thing, like, this was done, oh, Jesus, I'd say 10, 12, 15 years ago, maybe this
Wow.
documentary came out, and it's great. They interview Sly, they interview everybody. I mean, it really was fantastic. It truly was. Hey, listen, before we move down the line here, I have about 20,000 pictures in my the what's
Wow.
it called? The cloud?
Yep. Yep. Mhm.
Okay. I
Mhm.
have about 20,000 pictures. I'm just wondering, and this is not really a topic that's going to go anywhere. And I don't have a lot to say on this per se, but I'm just wondering, Stacy, when you go into your cloud,
Yes.
how many pictures do you have saved?
It's funny, before I started this podcast, I
Yeah.
had 7, 8,000. Now I have, just because of all the posting, I'm up in 14,000, I think.
It it
Yeah.
it
It
sneaks
just,
up on you, right?
yeah, blows up. Yes, I
Right.
get it.
Okay. So, everybody watching right now, here's a funny thing. You're watching this in the live chat off to the side. Just type in
Yeah.
how many pictures you guys have. Ballpark it. You don't have to be exact.
Yeah.
Just ballpark it. Because Stacy, right here, put in that picture of me with the 20,000 in
Yes.
change. Okay. There we go. So 20,000. How many pictures do you all have?
Yeah.
I would love to know and see that. And maybe we could talk about that next week, right, Stace?
Yeah. Well, it's funny because everything was paper before. You didn't get to take 3 shots at once, we're spoiled by how many pictures we can just snap and
Yeah,
save. Yeah.
right. It's amazing. The technology today is absolutely brilliant. I mean, what you and I are doing,
Right.
these podcasts, what other podcasts are doing, the technology today is unbelievable. I mean,
Yeah.
you could not do this in the back of a
No.
wagon trail while Indians were like attacking you. Like, you could not do it.
No. Not at
It's
all.
only right now. Now, listen,
Right.
we do have a guest today. Is our guest here yet?
Not yet.
Okay. All right. So let me go on to something that uh a few weeks ago, Sly posted on his Instagram, I think 14 pages of his Rocky 7 treatment. Now, Sly is known to handwrite this on a Mead notebook. Stace, you got a quick shot of that red Mead notebook? All right, leave that up for a second. Now let's look at this. Rocky number 7, Sly. Doesn't this just tickle the hell out of you
Oh,
when you
yeah.
see this?
It's like,
All right.
"Ooh."
I know. Like, if mainstream media were going to pick this up, people would roll their eyes. Rocky 7. I mean, come on. But not us. Not us here at the Rocky Files. Not hardcore Rocky fans. We actually understand and cannot wait for this.
Yeah.
Whether it's Rocky 7 or a Rocky prequel.
Right.
Ooh,
Mhm.
tickle my fancy bone. Imagine a Rocky prequel where we see an 18-year-old Rocky fighting for the very first time, meeting Gazzo, meeting Mickey, meeting
Mhm.
Paulie. Maybe he's 15 years old when he meets Paulie. Like, this could be very, very interesting and another great legitimate way to see Rocky fight again. Anyways,
Yeah.
Sly took these are gone now. He took them down. Now, why did Sly take these down?
Yeah.
Well, number one, Sly knows people are going to screenshot these. Number one, he knows that.
Yeah.
Number two, I can't speak for Sly on this, but I think he may have took them down. He wanted to just put his toe in the water and then take it off so no one copies it, so no one can. Maybe no one can jump the gun on it with him. Not that
Mhm.
they could, but I mean, look, there was the Creed series, there's the Drago series that got canceled.
Right.
So, there are people out there that do have concepts. And, if you do, and here I do want to say this before I read this. If you do have a concept,
Mhm.
like a Drago concept, or maybe an original thought about Mickey, like a
Mhm.
Mickey screenplay,
Right.
get that to Sly first. Don't go to MGM. Don't go to anybody else.
Mhm.
Send it right to Sly first. Give Sly the
Mhm.
first right of refusal. Okay.
Right. Right.
Let
Exactly.
let him take a look at this. Okay. So I want to just talk a little bit about some of the pages that we get to kind of fill in the gaps between Rocky 5 and Rocky Balboa. I'm going to read what Stacy's going to put up on the screen. All right. So, page number 1. Okay, here we go. I know you just can't read it, so I'm going to read it for you. Top of the page, exterior, Adrian's restaurant night. The windows are dark, except for a faint glow emanating from within the building. The streets are deserted, and the composition is quiet, somber. Interior, Adrian's. Rocky, half enveloped in the shadows behind the bar, places a record on an ancient turntable, then lowers the needle, and operatic music drifts out of the dated speakers above the bar. Guys, please just bear with me if my pauses are annoying, because Sly's writing is sloppy. It's like a
Yeah.
doctor's writing,
It
Stace,
is.
right?
It is.
Yeah.
Yes.
So bear with me. Rocky saunters to the back of the restaurant as O Mia Bambino Cara by Puccini plays. Okay. Page number 2. Uh Rocky approaches a checkered tablecloth, candles. As he approaches, we see the slight silhouette of a woman seated with her back to us. Rocky arrives and slides to cool upside and so I can't understand that one, and slides to slide and
Yeah.
now we go Rocky dialogue. Do you like this song? Adrian's warm eyes settle on Rocky. Adrian, yes, very much. My favorite aria. Rocky, sheepishly. I knew that. Page 3. Page 4, probably.
Mhm.
Adrian, Rocky, the doctors know what's best. Please, it will work out for the best. Rocky, I hate what I'm thinking, but I'm scared. Adrian, don't be. I feel that the hospital will maybe fix things, maybe more better. We have to believe that. Rocky wipes away an emerging tear. Rocky, yeah, sorry. What am I thinking? What am I doing? Feeling sorry for me. Page 9. Rocky, I don't want to think about the blank. Can't understand that word. Like what we was. I don't want to think about the past like what we was. Sorry, we're just talking about perfect. Adrian, we hope, but we have to be real. What I have is pretty far along. They're going to try their best, and we pray to God for his help. That's all we can do. We're not the only ones going through this. We all we can do is hope we are lucky. But if we're not, going to page 12. Exterior, Tijuana. A fight is taking place in a small fight club. The place is a hellhole where life is cheap and ultra machismo is supremely valued. Death before dishonor. A 27-year-old 5'8" welterweight Mexican fighter named Chuco the Mutt, or Chucko the Mutt. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Chucko the Mutt Roto is taking an ass whipping at the hands of his much flashier opponent. The crowd screams for blood. Chuco is listless and taking unnecessary punishment. The crowd is completely against him. Wicked combinations to the head and body ends the round. Cheers, blank, the opponent to his corner, while blank follows Chuco to his corner. Page 25.
Yep.
Coyote. Okay, it's in Mexican. I missed that. Go una mienda. Before the Coyote Con finishes the sentence, Chuco cracks him across the face and Coyote crumbles in a heap. Chuco and the rest of the blank into the darkness. Exterior, Rocky's neighborhood day. Walking towards Mickey's gym, Rocky passed several homeless young junkies squatting against storefronts. The whole neighborhood has sunk into moral decay as well. Many dilapidated streets. Rocky's Rocky eyes the depravity with a forlorn expression. Page 26. An older smack addict meanders aimlessly towards Rocky. Junkie. Yo, hold up, Rock. Hold up. It's happening Monday. What's that? It's happening, man. Rocky. You don't look too good, Mike. Junkie. I'm cool. I'm good. Rocky. You think that? You know, they're tearing down the gym. The old gym. Rocky. It was sold. So did I go past that? No, I didn't. All right, that's all I got. So there were actually more things here. There's another 6 or 7 pages, and I do apologize for the difficulty of slides. Reading is very difficult, but this gives us an idea. I can tell you more about what Rocky was doing. There was a girl called Katie that Sly writes, where he goes into these abandoned buildings that are now derelict and drug ridden with junkies, and he tries to save this girl Katie. How, where, why we don't know the relationship to Rocky. We don't know why Rocky's doing this, but he is. And we get this feeling from Rocky that he is incredibly sad over what's taken place in his neighborhood, his old neighborhood of Kensington. So here's the thing, Sly, we have been talking about this, messaging back and forth for a little bit, and the where Rocky's apartment is, the 1818, that's still heavily drug induced. When we drive by, you see people shooting heroin into their neck and so on.
Oh my
But
God.
down at Mickey's gym, that's the line, the delineation. This is where the what's it called? What's it called when you rebuild a neighborhood?
Oh, like reconstruction
Not
or
reconstruct. There's another.
rebuilding?
No,
Rebuilding?
there's another word. It's a big word. Why I use it every day on my tours. I can't remember it right now. Anyways, it's where they tear down old, rebuild new, and
Mhm.
then all the drugs are pushed out. And right around Mickey's gym, it's actually pretty decent down there. When I
Wow.
started doing the Rocky tours, there were needles on people were overdosing right there on Mickey's gym.
Wow.
Now that's all gentrification.
Oh, I'd have never come up with that. Yeah. Okay.
Gentrification. That's the word. Jesus, I couldn't remember
Too
that.
big of a word for me.
Yeah, no, hey, I can't spell it. I can say it. It took me about 4 months to learn how to say it. Anyways, gentrification is happening. And so this is some of the thoughts that
Mhm.
Sly has in this new script. And this Mexican fighter, Chuco, however he pronounces it, uh, Rocky becomes his trainer in essence. And I don't
Mhm.
know where Sly's going exactly with it, but somehow Rocky ends up in Mexico. Um, and there's an interesting premise to it. My thought on that is I'm interested in seeing Rocky dealing with the old neighborhood. So when
Yeah.
he walks through the old neighborhood, he sees the gym, his old apartment, the pet shop is gone, and so on, and he
Yeah.
sees what is, and he begins to remember. So then it drifts back in time when Rocky is 16, 17, 18 years old and he meets Mickey for the first time, or
Right.
he sees Adrian and Paulie for the first time. Okay.
Mhm.
How he and Gazzo were actually stepbrothers. We explore that.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
for me, I know there's a little bit of talk right now with the success of the third spinoff of the Rockies mythology, the Rocky
Mhm.
series,
Mhm.
that's done very well on its opening weekend. And that's opened up the proposition of potentially Rocky 7. But instead of Rocky 7, I prefer them to go along the lines of Cobra Kai.
Yes.
I would rather have an 45-minute miniseries.
You just stole it from me. Yes,
Okay,
exactly. Yep.
tell me. Go ahead, tell
Mm,
me. Wouldn't that
I
work?
well, with Tulsa King, you know what I'm saying? Yellowstone, Cobra Kai, it's like to have something recurring weekly. Ah,
Exactly.
that would be
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, because I think in say 40, I don't know why it would be 45 minutes, but it wouldn't be a full hour. That's
Mhm.
like Netflix rules. I don't understand that. Maybe
Oh,
Sly could push it and make it like a 50-minute or a
yeah.
60-minute. I don't know why. But anyways, if he could do 8 series, I think that is better than Rocky 7.
Yeah.
I think a Rocky prequel is superior
Yeah.
across the board. I fully believe that. And I again, I am not speaking for Sly. This is just me, but I don't know. To me, I get the feeling Sly is open to whatever.
Right.
Is it Rocky 7, a full-blown 2-hour movie, or do we do a sequel, a prequel on
Yeah.
Netflix, or well, probably Amazon, because Amazon owns MGM, which means they own the Rockies.
Yeah.
So anyways, I
I
don't know,
don't think
thoughts.
yeah, I don't think cinema is as hot as it was, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And the way we see things in COVID and being locked in, I I think people are happy to stay home. I think that's the new
I
way to see
know.
things.
I
So,
agree. I really agree. Stacey,
yeah.
are we doing any interviews? Are we done? Are we out of here?
No, we
We're
have an
done.
interview. No,
Oh,
we
we
have
do?
yes, we
Oh,
do.
oh, okay.
Yes, and it's appropriate. It's St. Patrick's Day coming up, and, this gentleman's from Ireland, so tell us about him.
So this guy is a friend of mine. He's not just a friend, he's like a confidant. His name is Sean, and he's number one, he's like a beautiful human being. Number one, right? He's so down to earth and gracious, and he's also like a large guy. Like
Yes.
he's the type of guy who could take my spine and twist it into a pretzel. Like quite easily. I love this guy because I get to talk with him offline quite often. And
Great.
his partner, Irene, she is such a sweet
Oh,
individual. They're out there in
mhm.
Ireland, and they're just great, great people. And to boot, on top of all of that, they are Rocky fans.
Yes.
Is he here?
Yes, he is here. Let me bring him
Oh,
in. Woohoo!
beautiful.
Sean,
Hello.
Hey, look at this
Hello.
guy. What's up, my friend?
Not
Wow.
much. Yeah.
Not much, huh? Listen,
Yeah.
Sean, can I just take a moment here? And I want to tell you what a fan I am of the decor in your room.
Mm.
Oh, yeah.
Clearly, you are a above average intelligence human being. I mean,
Yeah.
Right?
look at that
Well,
giant, beautiful poster and those two side pictures. My
Wow.
God, I
well,
love them.
Irene got the side pictures done. She thought, she said it looked nice because it looked a bit bare without anything else side to
Gotcha.
side. So she got them done as a surprise. So yeah.
Well, let me tell you something. You know, your partner, Irene, is absolutely just splendid and to die for it. There she
Yeah.
is. There she is.
Yeah.
She is just absolutely wonderful. I mean, you two are probably, if I have 8 favorite people on the planet, not including family, you guys are like
Excuse me.
1 and 2. Okay? You guys are like
Thank you.
near the
Oh,
top of the list.
No.
No, seriously, I really love the fact that we've been able to connect and talk and
Yeah.
share just, family life, the life can be so cruel and brutal and tough. And Rocky, I think, and I know Stace, you probably feel the same way.
mm,
Rocky is a great bridge to things where we are unsure. Stacy
yeah,
often says, I've often
Mhm.
said, what would Rocky do?
mhm.
For you, Sean, what is it about this character of Rocky? Why do you like Rocky?
Um, but to be honest with you, I woke up to the opening music of Rocky 2 when I was 10 years old. The babysitter who was looking after me that night, she rented it out. And when I heard the music, I woke up. I was asleep, and
Neat.
I was just hooked on it from that age. And so then my mum was as well. The two of us just we watched the films every weekend up until she passed.
Wow.
The last film that we saw together was Rocky Balboa the night before she passed away.
I
Oh.
Absolutely.
w I couldn't remember. We've had so many discussions, you and I. I couldn't remember, if you both got to see Rocky, Balboa, and I'm so glad that you did. You know,
Yeah.
what would she think of the Creed movies?
Uh, she wouldn't like them. Definitely not. No. Definitely not. No. No.
She would have an issue, huh?
No.
Yeah.
No. No. She wouldn't like them. I do know. Yeah, I know she wouldn't like them though.
Right.
Like myself, I suppose since we found out what's happened and
The behind the scenes stuff. Sure.
No, I just I keep seeing clips for the latest one.
Right.
Yeah.
I just turn it off.
I
just turn it off.
know. I
Yeah,
know. It's tough. It's tough.
it
But
is.
we were talking, Stacey and I were talking just before you come on, and the interesting thing about this is that this this third movie in the spinoff of the Rocky mythology has given the potential for Rocky 7 or a Rocky prequel life. And, this is something we are really, really interested in is specifically me, a Rocky prequel. This is something I think that can trump the entire Rocky universe. What do you think about seeing a young Rocky at 16, 17 fighting for the first time, meeting Mickey, Paulie, Gazzo, and so on?
I'd love to see that. Absolutely love to see that. Who would play him?
Yeah.
My thoughts, again, earlier, I did not speak for Sly. These are just my thoughts. I think what you do is you hire an unknown actor. Very little credibility, but they know the craft of acting, okay?
Right.
So they have the basics of Stallone. They have his basic stature. They have the darker, wavier hair, classic Italian nose, and that's it. That's it. Now, you superimpose, like they did with the Irishman, right?
Yeah.
You superimpose the young Stallone look on that person. That's what I think. And the guy doesn't have to have the Rocky voice. He doesn't need it at 16, 17 because my voice now wasn't my voice then. So I think there's giving there. You know what I mean? Because we all know nobody can play Rocky other than Sly.
Right.
But now you bring Sly into it by taking his looks and you superimpose that. I think it can work. Now, above and beyond anything else, you got to have Sly involved.
Absolutely,
He's got to see the minute aspects all over. Okay?
Yeah.
And that's the way you do it.
Well,
Stace, what do you think?
It wouldn't be the same without his involvement. It's not going to have the same feel without his involvement, which is exactly what I'm hearing about the third installment. Some people are saying they're like, it's a good movie, but it ain't a Rocky movie.
Ain't a Rocky movie.
And while we're on this topic, I have a little video clip of exactly what you're talking about.
Okay.
And it's younger Sly, older Sly.
Sure.
Watch this. Hang on.
Maybe this will bring you luck.
That last one is amazing.
Yeah.
You clearly see the age in Sly's face. Yet what they can do subtly and just morph it. Now you take that and you put whatever money it takes to make it look natural and normal, and you put that on a young actor who has the body movements of a young Stallone, who can, do the whole thing, I'm telling you, there is nothing they can't accomplish with this movie. And you have to do the same thing for Burt Young, Talia Shire, Burgess Meredith. You do all of that. You put that into it. Yeah, it's going to cost a couple of bucks. I swear to God, if Hollywood listens, you can make millions off of this if you do it right. Sean, what do you think about that concept?
Yeah, I think it would be a very good idea. I think, didn't they do something like that in Grudge Match? Did they do
a little bit? They did actually. Yeah. Good point, Sean. They absolutely did. And they actually did a lot of it and they cut a lot of it out. But the little they put in, we got to see almost a Rocky 2 looking version of Stallone's character from Grudge Match. Yeah, it was great. And same for De Niro. He almost looked like he was Jake LaMotta in that the old newsreel footages that they used in that, which I
Yeah.
thought was absolutely fantastic. Sean, if you had one Rocky to pick as your favorite, what Rocky is it?
2. Rocky 2.
Right. Is that because of the connection with your mom?
Yeah. It was both our favorites. We both love Mickey in it. Mickey was great in Rocky 2. I suppose it's because it's the first one I saw. Just everything about it. My favorite scene from Rocky 2 was when he's running through the streets with the kids.
Yeah.
Up the top of the steps.
Right.
And also, I think apart from Rocky 2 has got the most realistic fight scenes, I think.
Right.
Out of the whole series.
I love the Rocky 2 fight. I really do. Yeah. It's so visceral. It's like two T-Rexes are in the ring just going at each other. I love that. Yeah, I really do.
That's my favorite, yeah.
Nice.
Sean, we often talk about those moments. Mike said it earlier, what would Rocky do? Do you have any specific examples from your life that you were facing something or a particular circumstance or a decision that,
something I faced, so I think about 9 years ago, I got kidney cancer, just came on all of a sudden.
Yeah.
And I have to say, after coming out of hospital and recovering at home, it was a really, really dark time mentally. Mm-hmm. And all I watched was Rocky because I was off work for 4 months, I think, and all I watched was Rocky, and made me happy, made me sad in a lot of parts as well. Mm-hmm. It was a very, very dark time.
Yeah.
Very dark time.
I know what you mean because there are different parts in everyone's lives and everything is relative. It really is relative. What's dark for one person, not necessarily for another, but it's all dark for the individuals involved. So when you gravitate towards such a positive character like Rocky, who can lift you up at a point where, whether you're somewhat broken, whether you're scared or intimidated, Rocky can wash that away. It just washes it away, and it gives you that, what does Mickey say? Motivation to move forward. And sometimes that's all we need. We don't need to be the best. We don't need to overcome to a degree of superiority. Sometimes we just need to move forward in a situation to get out of it sometimes. I haven't been where you were, Sean, but I like to think that I would do what you did, and I would watch Rocky for that proper motivation.
Yeah, it was the only thing that made me happy. There was a lot of worry in that there as well, but touch wood, I'm doing okay now.
And not to, also very handsome guy.
He's a handsome guy.
Yes. A very handsome guy. Speaking of handsome, cute.
Drinking? Yeah.
No. I've had nothing but iced tea.
Yeah, this close to saying.
I got coffee. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. So, the thing that I love to kind of bring up on these podcasts is how this character Rocky. When you come to Philadelphia, you've been to Philly. You have seen those streets. What does it feel like when you're going through those streets and you see Mickey's gym or Rocky's apartment or where Paulie walked with Adrian and so on? How does it affect you?
A lot of it at the start was a blur because
really?
I just couldn't believe I was there. Like the first place we went to, the evening we got there was where Adrian and Rocky walk after Adrian finds out she's pregnant, and they're doing their talk and
Rittenhouse Square.
That evening, a father and a daughter that were on the tour with us, Tony and Maria, they said, "Have you been to the steps before? Have you seen?" I said, "No, I haven't." And so we were just walking around. We kind of all split off. Everybody kind of split and went their own separate ways, and
Right.
they were showing us around. And there's a couple of buildings that look familiar to me. And then I was talking, and next thing I turned around and there was nobody there. What they did was they'd hung back and let me walk on, and I realized where I was then. I was on the main street where he runs to go up the steps.
The Ben Franklin Parkway, yes.
Yeah. So the first thing I did when I got to the steps is I went to the statue. There were tears. I had a few tears from my mum.
Right.
I went up to the top of the steps, and I couldn't believe I was there. A lot of it was a blur at the start. Even the day we did the tour with you, I couldn't believe I was there. You know, it's something that for the better turned things around for me. Because a close friend of mine passed away not long ago, and
oh, really?
yeah, and his was cancer as well.
Okay.
But he I took that very hard, and doing that tour and meeting all the people I met in that tour, and all the friends that we've made, myself and Irene, my fiance, have made, you know, it really did turn things around for me. You know, I got my motivation back. I started doing my exercising again. You know, and some of the people that the friends we made, we stay in contact with them on a daily basis, just by text.
Nice.
But still, all because of Rocky, you know.
You know, that's something you and I have in common. We have some mutual friends in common that we care very much about. And, you know, it's great that you can build that reservoir of friends and basically a support system. That's how I see it. This all started when you were very young. You were just a kid. Now, Stacy, our crack team of research scientists got us a picture of a very young Sean. Could you throw that up and let's see how cute this kid was? Look at that little guy. Look at him.
So cute, Sean.
A sweatshirt with Rocky on it. I don't have that as a kid. This is awesome, my friend.
Yeah, that was.
Do you remember that picture being taken?
I do. I remember it was my aunt in London. She brought me to the shopping center, and she got it made. She got Rocky on the front and Sean on the back.
Oh my God!
I
wore it everywhere. I used to wear it to school, the weekends. Never took it off.
Never took it off, right?
No.
It could hang itself in the corner. You wore it so often. It had its own shape. It's just great.
Wow, you two would have been besties had you known each other.
Oh yeah, I know.
Sure.
I know.
Yeah.
And that's the thing we talk about all the time. You know, we get that. You know, that's the thing I love about this Rocky universe is that you do meet a lot of Rocky fans. Not every fan is going to click. Not every fan is going to be able to talk offline or whatever. But that's one of the things that I love about Sean and maybe a few of our mutual friends. You know, we do get together and we do chat. And it's one of the things that lifts me up beyond anything else that I can do or say is when I just talk with people. And sometimes, a lot of times it's Rocky and sometimes it's just life in general. And the thing is that it brings us together. We're not viewing each other through the lens of our news media in our respected countries. We are right from the horse's mouth, each of us.
Yeah.
That I love. And then what do we find, Stacy? We find that we have way more in common together than that divides us. And I love that. And this is all because of Rocky. You see, at least for me as a catalyst to go out and approach people. And I love that. What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's, I've said it 1,000 times. I feel closer to some of the people in our Rocky bubble than some people I've known my whole life, only because we spring from the same board. You know, you are influenced by the same, that character. And anyone moved in the same way just has that same set of values. And so you automatically are a certain kind of person if you're a Rocky fan. And that's like 90% of the relationship right there, because that's all I need to know. Now I know, oh, this is a good person.
Right.
That's
right.
it.
You got
So
something
easy.
to work with. We
Yeah.
may disagree on a few whatever,
Yeah.
but there is a core of goodness there.
Yes.
Give me that core any day, and I can work with that person until the day I die.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
Now, Sean, it looks like did they make a 50th birthday card out of this too? I thought this was adorable. When was did you just turn 50? When was your birthday?
50 last year.
Last year. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. You and I are finally in that same club. Isn't it painful?
Yeah.
I wanted to show you got some great pictures. Take a look at this right here. Where is
Look at
this?
that.
Where was that? Is that
That's in our garage.
Nice.
I did that little by little, painted the garage up, and got a lot of the stuff I had, treadmill already, and I got my speedball. I actually love working that speedball. I love it.
Right.
Nice.
It was very hard at the start, but I was that determined to well, I've not mastered it yet, but
yeah,
I'm okay at it. I got
you do Rocky proud. Trust me, you're all right. You're pretty good at it. Don't worry about it.
Here's this with the belt, the Adrian's in the background. I love it.
That was taken on Sunday. We were just going to our godson's confirmation in church. So Irene said, she said, I think you should take a picture with the suit on and the belt, as a profile picture.
I love it.
So yeah. I'm not a suit type of person. Very, very rarely I wear a suit.
Hey, well, you fill it out way nicer than I would, my friend. You look very distinguished, okay?
Let's see. Here's black and white action photo. And this one too. Yeah. Go ahead, Mike.
I just want to say, can we go back one photo?
Yeah.
Okay. I know it's a reverse negative, but I just want to say that is one of the best looking shirts I have ever seen in my life.
Right.
All right. For those of you that don't know, that's the Yo Philly Rocky Film Tour that my friend is wearing, doing some shameless promotion for me because I'm too cheap to. There it is. There it is.
Hey, there you go. Nice.
Oh, that's great.
There you go.
Sean, this is interesting. When you sent me this, The Pretender, I'm so glad we were able to get that poster to you via a very good mutual friend, Tony Montebello. Tony was very, very kind. Sean couldn't make it in for this previous February's tour that we had with the UK. We do it with these Marco and Sean. They've been on the show before.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, so Sean couldn't make it before for this one, and I wanted to get him a Rocky poster. I'm sorry, Pretender poster, and I didn't want him to pay me the shipping for a poster tube that big, that long, $135. Right? That's how long. $135. Shipping is ridiculous. So I said, how am I going to get this to him? And Tony, Tony, the more I think about it, Tony would be a very good guest on the show. He's in right, Sean, don't you think?
Yeah, he would,
yeah. He's been in many, every famous popular movie that you can name, he's been in. Harry Potter, Pirates of the Caribbean, Terminator, Muppets, everything. He's been in them.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he really has. And he used to run a gym. Anyways, Tony volunteered. He said, Mike, he goes, I'll take it back. He goes, I'll carry it on the plane with me as carry-on luggage, and then I'll mail it to Sean once I get home. Because he lives in where? Aylesbury? Am I saying that?
Aylesbury in London. Yeah. He was so kind to do that. He even took a picture when he was handing the poster to the postman.
Yeah.
He took a picture, then he sent it to me. But it's something I did want to say, is to say thanks to Tony for doing that. I really appreciate him doing that. Very, very kind thing to do. Very kind.
I wanted to say thanks to Tony too, because that's a giant pain in the ass to carry a poster. Now, on top of that, he has his own poster that he got from me that I signed for. Okay, so he's got these 2 posters, right? He feels silly walking through the airport in Philly, right?
Right.
Getting on the plane. He's got to hold them in the little seats. He's got to fly over for 7 hours, 8 hours. And he's got to walk through the airport. It's a lot. And so just again, Tony, big thank you to you. We appreciate that.
Yeah, he's on our list for this month.
Oh, good, good.
Yeah, he will be finding that out before he'll be finding that out right now. I'll be
Very
reaching out.
good.
Yeah. You know, this picture too, since we're on Mick here. Hold on, where is it? You sent me this photo. Tell us about that.
That is the first of anything got to do with Rocky that I was gifted by my mother.
Oh, how nice.
Wow.
So
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was actually in its plastic wrapping for years. I think she gave it to me in early 90s, I think it was. And I kept it in the wrapper, and it wasn't long ago Irene got a frame for it, and she said, we need to put this up. We need to to show it off. So
was that Irene's thought to go white border, white frame?
I think so. Yeah, I think he just thought it would be nice because everything else I have ready to go up, it's all black frame.
Yeah.
You know? But
I was gonna comment on it. Go ahead.
Well, what's happened now is I've got an awful lot of John Rivley stuff.
Yeah.
I was ready to put it up. When I have Mike's poster up, I said, yeah, I'll put the rest of them up. But then he brought out the one that's behind you.
Yeah.
Oh, the legend.
So I'm thinking, no, I got to get that before I put anything else up.
Oh, this may be his best work. And he has, I'm looking at a bunch of them, but I'm looking at 3 that are earth-shattering good.
Yep.
Yeah. I really am. So yeah, Sean, get them as soon as you can and get them up. Yeah. But what I want to say about that frame that Irene chose, there is something very special, I think, about being the first work that you got from your mom, and that Irene thought to go and get the white frame in the white matting. You see, thanks, Stacy. It's very angelic. In other words, that white frame, the white border within the frame, that is your mom. That is the angel on your shoulder, the angel in your life that speaks to you daily. I love that it's white. Now, I'm a black frame guy. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, I live and die by the black frame. But something like that from your mom deserves to stand out. When people walk into your room, that's the one their eyes are going to go to because it's all white. And now you're going to say, oh, that's from my mom.
I love that.
Yeah.
How appropriate. Would you say she was your Mickey? That's the question of the month. Yeah, Mom. Yeah.
Absolutely. Oh, nice. Yeah. She was very very supportive of me. And some of the things I did, some of the maybe they're not great decisions I made, she always supported me. She was anybody that knew that met her and knew her, they all loved her. Everybody loved her. Her and Irene were the best of friends, for many years. So yeah, it's something that it eases, but you'll always miss your mom.
Yeah.
You'll always miss your mom, especially your mom.
I don't want to live in a world without my mother. All right. Yeah. I may sound a little sentimental here, but I don't ever want to cross that bridge. And so I get it, man. Yeah. I really, really get it. I do.
And someone having that much history, with my mom, I can go to the entire world and say, I'm fine. And everyone buys it. I try to do the I'm fine when I'm not fine with her. She's like, what? What is it? They just know.
They just know.
Yeah.
That mother's intuition. I mean, Stace, you were a girl once. Now you're a mom. So you know that, right?
Yeah.
You know when your daughter's off her North Star,
Yeah, you absolutely know. And I think my favorite thing about Mickey is he's a very good example of being firm without being cruel. You know what I'm saying? He had to say some hard things, but he didn't belittle Rocky. And I think that's what sometimes parents get wrong.
Yeah.
You can say what you need to say, even when it's the hard stuff, and be firm, but not belittle it, and that's why I loved him so much.
Yeah. Yeah, he was I think he was my mother's favorite character was Mickey.
Oh.
Love Mickey.
Right.
Yeah.
Was your mom Mickey in her nature? Was she more like, nah, she probably wasn't like Paulie. Was she more like Adrian, where she was softer in building the support, and then when you needed it, like on the beach, she slams you in the face? Or was she like Mickey, like Stacy said, hard and firm, but nurturing nonetheless?
Yeah.
Mickey. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
she certainly wasn't smooth anyway. Yeah, she would definitely.
Really?
Yeah, she was she was strict, but she was always there. She always backed me,
Boy,
definitely like Mickey. Yeah.
I wish I got to meet your mom. I would have loved her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was,
You'll have to send me some pictures of her. We'll pop them in as
We'll
we're
put
talking.
them right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Now, listen, Stace, before we let Sean get back to having dinner, before we let him go back to having a lovely evening with his partner, Irene, is there anything else you want to kind of talk about before I ask him our last question?
Well, I just love what you said about, you have 4 months off from work and you're going through that chemo, and Rocky was the only thing that made you happy. I get that. And we've had a lot of cancer patients on here, and they all say the same thing. It's a very dark space, and Rocky was that light to remind you that you are going to get through this. This too shall pass. Keep going, keep moving. And and you also have just a softness about you and a sensitivity about you that we just love. I can feel it. You're in Ireland and I can feel it here. You do.
The name I put up first was Sparky.
Yes, that's right.
That's what Irene put that name on me.
Yeah, right.
Not because of National Lampoon's Vacation or anything like
Right.
that. I could be a bit fiery at times, so she put that name on me.
Yeah.
And then one of the guys on the tour, Tony Peach, he shortened it from Sparky to Sparks. So anytime I speak to Tony now, you say, "How you doing, Sparks?" He's Tony Peach was he was a funny guy as well. He was
Tony Peach is a great guy. I've had the pleasure of talking with him several times, calling him up and just rapping with him, and I love Tony. He's a great guy, and he's so humble and down to earth. As a matter of fact, I think you, Irene, Tony, and his daughter, what's her name?
Maria.
Yeah, Maria. I think you four were the ones. Remember at the end of our tour, right? I'm standing out front of the hotel, leaning against the wall, because we're all going to go to the Victor Cafe at the end of the night, right? And I'm supposed to sit with Marco and Sean Wallach. I'm supposed to be in their room.
Yeah.
But they're at a pub somewhere, not answering the goddamn phones.
Yeah.
So I got nowhere to go, and there's like 3 hours to kill. Well, so I'm just leaning up against the building.
Yeah.
And I called up Sean, and Sean come right down. He goes, come on, we'll hang out with you until these guys get back. And we just started hanging out and talking. And then Marco and Sean get off like the local bus. And then we went up and we were talking, but that's the type of people that we meet, Sean and Irene and Tony and Maria, these are the people that are just so kind, and they're just generous with their time. And so, you have to just kind of take stock in that and hold on to that and say, yeah, there are good people out there. There are people who care, and it's sweet. It's sweet.
Yeah, it was. Like even before we got the flight over to Philly, everybody just clicked in the airport. Met another guy in particular, Suki.
I love Suki.
Who looks a bit like Sly as well.
He does.
we all just clicked.
Of course.
And as I said, I've kept in contact with them. Some of them nearly every day. Some of them, I keep in contact with all of them.
You're very good about that.
Yeah.
Unlike some people who don't keep in contact, you're you're very good.
Yeah. But they were a great bunch.
Do you think Suki would come on? Do you think we could get Suki to come on here?
Yeah. I get Suki. I'll make sure Suki
good.
comes on.
I'd like. He really is great. He was one of the focus. Suki was one of the guys that was in the boxing ring. Stacy, remember when we did that video?
Okay.
Yeah. So Suki was one of the guys that got in the ring, and Sean, who was not this Sean, another Sean. Sean was. He was very, very generous in allowing people from the Rocky Tour to step in the ring at the Front Street Gym and beat the hell out of them. That was their dream, to become Rocky for 3 minutes in a fight. And Sean is a professional fighter, so he was able to do his magic and not get hurt. But you saw the other people who were like Azadine. He was another one that went in the ring.
Yeah.
And so these guys who never put a pair of boxing gloves on, at the end of 3 minutes, they're like huffing and puffing with their arms. And Sean was just, who's next? Who'd like to hit on me? And he allowed himself to be a punching bag to fulfill the dreams of someone who saw Rocky. I can't think of another beautiful example of helping someone achieve a dream, a bucket list dream. It was beautiful to me.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
All right, Sean, I know how busy you are. I know you and Irene have dinner with the mayor of where you're living.
Or equivalent in Ireland.
Or equivalent. So I want to ask you this question that we ask all of our people that come on to be interviewed. You're in an elevator alone for 30 seconds with Stallone. What do you say?
I suppose, like everybody else, I thank him and tell him how grateful I am for all those characters he created. For me, especially creating the character Rocky. Who's been a part of my life since 10 years old. For all the enjoyment, both myself and my mum had watching those films together. It was an every weekend thing. It was we used to watch. It kind of brought us a lot closer watching those films. And most, I suppose, for being able to go to Philly, because of Rocky, we went to Philly and we made all these wonderful friends we've made. And it wouldn't be we wouldn't have made them unless, if it wasn't for Sylvester Stallone / Rocky. So I would just thank him for all of that. And that would be it. Yeah.
Sean, you're one of my favorite people on this planet. You know that. I enjoy our talks. We don't have enough of them because life is crazy and keeps us busy. Right. But I love you. When we're done here, I need you to hang up and go right over to Irene, kiss her on the forehead, and let her know I'm thinking about her and I adore her.
Yeah, I'll tell her.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sean.
Sean, as we always say at the end of the Rocky interview, keep
punching.
Keep punching.
Talk to you soon, my friend.
Okay. Thank you.
Buddy.
Thanks, Stacey. Bye-bye now.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
You think Jason Bourne fans are that awesome?
Not even close.
Come on.
The softness. Oh my God.
I love the guy. I love him.
So genuine. And just the way he answered. I mean, it's so true. Like I can't say it right. The lifetime of memories that Rocky has provided, in the way, he said about his mom and how it brought them closer together. And you just don't know, without Rocky, maybe that helped two people who wouldn't have connected otherwise have something to connect on. You know what I mean?
So true.
And so I just, Oh, he's got an extra special genuineness that is, yeah.
You know, Stacy, I allow so few people into my life.
Right, I know.
Very few people. Because even with having that barrier up, I've let some people in who have really gotten under my skin and aggravated me. And so you learn from that. So then you become even more cautious on your travels. But you get a guy like Sean. I had the honor and the privilege to be on the tour with him and be face to face right here, not through a screen, face to face. And there's something to be said about that contact. You know, we see a lot of kids today, a lot of adults today. They go out to the restaurants. They're
Yeah, right. I know.
on the stupid phones, right?
Right.
And there's not sometimes like where were we? Sue and I were at I don't know, some wing place, someplace down in KOP, and we were sitting at the bar, and we had a drink and some hot wings, and we didn't even know where our phones were. They were like our jacket or something, whatever. And we're looking at all the people at the bar, and they're all couples. You could tell they were all couples.
Yeah.
And they're all on their phones. None of them are talking to each other. And they were probably in their 20s and 30s. And she goes like, what the hell?
Yeah,
Like,
I
why are
know.
they not talking? Why are they on their phones? What, I'll check my phone like before bed, right? Like when I'm unwinding, you know, watching The Office or Family Guy, and I'm chilling out, my brain is shutting down, I'm going through emails or whatever. Or I will check during a commercial break, or if Sue gets up to do something else in the house, and I'm like, okay, well, she doesn't have my attention, so I'm gonna check online. So but people are doing it all the time.
Yeah.
Why? What is that?
Our culture is just, technology is taking over our attention to an unhealthy point. That and I don't know how to ramp that back. It's like people can't even talk to each other. I've seen people be in the same room and they're texting each other in the same room. I'm like, are you kidding
you're
me?
right. You're right.
Enough. I see what's happening, but I certainly don't know how to undo it. And technology is amazing. Technology
Sure it
is
is.
wonderful, but it is way taking over our
balance.
social life. Yeah.
You got to find the balance. And that is something that I think I have found in my friends Sean and Irene. I have found a balance in their friendship, which is lovely. And so Sean, again, thank you for taking time out of your schedule to talk with us. 5-hour difference in time, and yet you made it happen. So thank you, my friend.
Sweetheart.
What else we got going on, Stace? Are we done? Bye.
Well, on Mickey Month, I just wanted, you know, as we were saying at the beginning, Burgess Meredith has done about 4 million things. And I had done a post the other day because he does have his own book called So Far So Good.
Go.
And it's in the mail. So I ordered it, and it's thrift books and eBay is where I'm seeing the most copies.
Yeah, right.
So I'm going to be reading it, and I'll be chatting about it after I'm done. That smile. I just love him. So I just thought that was a great cover. And so it'll be neat to learn more about him.
Yeah. I got mine last week. I read it, and there's a fair amount in there about Rocky. But what was interesting is the only thing I'll share now, and then we'll touch back on it. Burgess says in it that I don't know Sylvester terribly well.
Huh.
Isn't that a weird thing for us to hear as fans?
Yeah.
Because we forget they're not trainer and heavyweight champion. They're not.
Right.
They're two actors who work together. Really, when you think about it, for a few hours.
Yeah.
A few microscopic hours, Burgess and Sylvester worked together. On screen, they were a legendary couple. But in
forever.
real life, forever.
Yeah, right.
But in real life, no, not so much. They had a job, they're actors, and then they went their own ways.
Right.
And it's always a drag on the brain when you realize, and that's how great Rocky is. You forget they're acting. These were real people. They brought them to life. So Can't wait to talk more about that with you.
Yeah, absolutely. That's 100% true. You have to remind yourself, oh, by the way, this isn't real. But it is real because it affects
know.
real people and it
Yep.
affects real situations. And to me,
It does.
that's why it's real.
Right.
You
Right.
know, because
Well
the
said.
effect of it is real.
Well
Yeah.
said.
So, well, my friend, hey, where can people take a tour if they want to see all those Rocky sites?
So, you know, I have a tour thing. It's called the Yo Philly Rocky Film Tour on Instagram. They can find me there. They can find me on TikTok Rocky over on TikTok. You all know the story there. And two other things. I wrote a book called Cue the Rocky Music that the greatest co-host in the world is showing right now. Cue the Rocky Music. It's on Amazon. You can find it on eBay. It's wherever books are sold. And the last thing I want to talk about is The Pretender by a man named Jimmy Toscano and his team out of Detroit. This movie is a documentary, a 56-minute documentary on my life's journey, on the passion that it is I have about Rocky. And you know what? Stick around for the last 3.5 minutes because you might see a familiar face.
Face.
Stacey, where can we find you?
I am at Had Me at Yo on Instagram, the Rocky Files on Instagram, and the Rocky Files podcast on Facebook.
Beautiful. Stacey, I guess I'm going to see you next week, my friend.
Next week. All right. Take it easy. Keep punching.
Bye, everybody.